Greetings, esteemed visitor. I am Inquisitorial Librarian Mandunus Manustus, a custodian of the Great Library of Terra in the 41st millennia. Within these sacred halls, the knowledge of the Imperium of Man is preserved, safeguarded and accessed by those deemed worthy. It is my duty to maintain the sanctity of these tomes and guide seekers of truth through the labyrinthine depths of our collective history. Today, the archivists have sought to trust this knowledge upon you. So, listen closely. Honored brethren, gather close and open your minds to the distant echoes of the past. I shall unveil the enigmatic history of a race that predated the Imperium, the Necrontyr. Long before the rise of the Imperium and the struggles of the present day, there existed a species on the verge of cosmic destiny. This is the tale of their birth, their beginning. Let us journey back to a time when the galaxy was a tapestry of enigmatic civilizations. The world of the Necrontyr, whose name has been lost to the annals of history, so say those more outspoken imperial historians, was a planet bombarded by the solar winds of its system's sun. Radiation leaking into its very desolate landscapes, affecting the Necrontyr and all other life there. Their bodies burdened by slow decay, in constant agony, they yearned to escape their wretched existence. Their world was a tribute to death itself, a melancholic race guided by their triarch rulers, who bore the weight of their people's lamentation. Their lives were plagued by an abhorrent condition, the curse of mortality. Embracing their curse, their planet became a living mausoleum. Temples and monuments built to the pursuits of knowledge in extending lives and spirituality, crafting a culture that sought to elevate the spirit for the preparation of death. Their home planet, adorned by cities that reached the heavens, its streets lined with sculptures of the dead, its grand halls echoed with the melodies of sorrowful symphonies, and its libraries housed tomes of wisdom and valor. In their desperation, they took upon sailing the stars, colonizing many worlds. Their dynasties spread out amongst the stars, searching for the answers to immortality. In their expansion, they came across the Old Ones, masters of the Immaterium. They lived immortal lives, seeding the galaxy with their own creations. The Necrontyr, yearning for enlightenment, asked the Old Ones for help. The Old Ones refused. In their expansion amongst the stars, the warring dynasties of the Necrontyr, powerful families who conquered worlds and fought for supremacy amongst each other, began to vie for power against the Triarch. Civil war broke out among the dynasties, independent realms started to form, seeds of rebellion took hold. Ambitious leaders emerged, rallying dissident factions to their cause. Voices of dissent echoed through the halls of power, challenging the Triarch's rule. In the crucible of war, the secessionists emerged victorious, establishing their own dominions and cementing the fracture of the Necrontyr civilization. These newly formed dynasties, each led by powerful lords and matriarchs, laid claim to vast territories and resources. In their desperation, the Triarchs used the Necrontyr's morbid fascination with death and their goal of immortality to bring the warring dynastic kingdoms together. Their jealousy of the Old Ones was the driving force that propelled them to wage war. United, in their hubris, they believed they could beat them. Despite their technology and wonders of war, the Necrontyr could not contend with the Old Ones' use of the webway and Immaterium. Angered at the Triarchy, the dynasties waged war upon each other again. So great were these wars, planets burned, and untold numbers of Necrontyr warriors died at the behest of their almighty rulers. These wars of secession left the Necrontyr civilization in ruins. Their great cities lay in ashes, and the once unified race was now fractured beyond repair. The dynasties that had emerged from schemed, consumed by bitterness and vengeance. However, by some luck, or perhaps predestined, the Necrontyr discovered the Catan. These enigmatic beings possessed knowledge and power that surpassed mortal comprehension, holding the keys to the Necrontyr's coveted escape from the chains of time. A momentous encounter was set in motion. Eager to shed their fragile existence, the Necrontyr embraced the Catan as their gods. These star-spanning entities, ancient beyond reckoning, offered the promise of eternal life and unrivaled power. The Necrontyr, driven by their longing for immortality, entered into a pact with the C'tan, forever altering their destiny. These once fragile beings willingly relinquished their frail forms, allowing their flesh to be melded with cold, lifeless metal. The Necrontyr civilization was reborn as the soulless legions known as the Necrons. The C'tan, in turn, forged a bond with these mechanical shells, binding their vast power to the newly fashioned Necron Empire. Alas, brethren, this alliance came at a great cost. The Necrontyr's transcendence from the frailties of their mortal forms exacted a heavy toll. Their individuality was lost, their emotions extinguished, and their souls forever stripped away. Consumed by the C'tan upon biotransference, the once vibrant civilization of the Necrontyr was transformed into an empire of cold, unfeeling automata. A bargain struck. The Necron Empire marched. The stage was set for an epical conflict, the war in heaven. It was a clash of civilizations, a struggle for dominion and transcendence. The Necrons, their bodies now transformed into immortal metallic shells, forged ahead in their quest for dominion. They marshaled their legions and unleashed their formidable war machines upon the galaxy, their cold, unfeeling hearts filled with a burning desire to surpass the limitations of their cursed existence. No longer alone, the Necron, now with the C'tan, had developed weapons capable of challenging the old ones. These godlike beings hungered for souls and wielded powers that defied mortal comprehension. The war in heaven raged, consuming entire worlds in its fiery wake. The Old Ones, masters of the webway and the intricate arts of the warp, countered the Necrons' advance with their formidable psychic abilities and ancient technology. Battles of unimaginable scale unfolded across the stars, as one side sought to secure its dominance over the galaxy, and the other protected. The Old Ones fought back against the Necron onslaught. Their ancient technology and psychic might rent the heavens, challenging the very fabric of reality. The budding races of the Eldari and Krork aiding the Old Ones. But the relentless march of the Necrons and the malevolent influence of the C'tan proved to be a formidable foe. It was in the crucible of the final battles that the tide of the war shifted. The Necrons, their ranks bolstered by the wrathful C'tan, unleashed devastating weapons and technological marvels that laid waste to entire star systems. The Old Ones, valiant though they were, could not withstand the combined onslaught of the metallic legions and the ancient star gods. The resulting bloodshed turned the immaterial Sea of Calm into a raging torrent. Once calm, warp beings, previously tame, erupted from the immaterium. Psyker's Old Ones, all those touched by the warp, now, victims to the power they wielded, the Old Ones, were finally ended by the enslavers, psychic entities who poured forth from their servants in the Eldari. With the Old Ones and their servants greatly reduced, the Necron could finally focus on their real foe, their gods, the C'tan. The Silent King, the ruling member of the Necron triarchy, who maintained control of his being and full control of the Necrons through command protocols, realized his mistake. Had realized his race's mistake in trusting the C'tan. With the Old Ones banished, and their lesser races reduced due to the war in heaven, the C'tan began to war amongst themselves. The Necrons were used as mere pawns in their petty squabbles. The Silent King devised a plan to destroy the C'tan. Through sheer weight in number, trickery and technological devastation, thus began a relentless war, a struggle for survival against the very entities they had sought to make their masters. The Necrons shattered their star gods. One by one they fell. Their metallic bodies shattered into fragments. These fragments were stored away within extra-dimensional devices known as the Tesseract Labyrinths, pocket dimensions where their former gods would be prisoners. Their wardens, the former supplicants and slaves, the Necron. Their former masters chained. The Silent King bid his people sleep. They retreated to their tomb worlds, the marching legions put into stasis, for the Silent King knew that over all else, time would aid them. In his guilt for destroying the very souls of his race, the Silent King, Zarek, last of his line, severed control of his command protocols from his people. Thus began their long slumber. Brethren, the war between the Necrons and the C'tan serves as a chilling testament to the perils of unchecked ambition and the consequences of allying oneself with ancient and malevolent entities. The Necrons, driven by their pursuit of immortality, unwittingly unleashed a force of unimaginable power upon the galaxy. Let us heed the lessons of this ancient conflict, remaining vigilant in our quest to protect the Imperium from such cosmic horrors. The Necrons serve as a reminder of the dangers lurking within the darkest corners of the galaxy. We, as Inquisition, must strive to unveil the truths that lie hidden, to safeguard humanity from the encroachment of these ancient terrors. In the face of Xenos, heretics, and chaos, we must remain united and resolute. Our Imperium stands as a beacon of light amidst the encroaching darkness. We must hunt down the Xenos with unwavering determination, root out the heretics with unwavering zeal, and defy the temptations of chaos with unwavering faith. Let us, brethren, rise to the challenges that beset us. Let us study the lessons of the past, unearth the hidden knowledge, and fortify our minds against the temptations of corruption. Together, we shall defend the Emperor's realm, for we are the sword and shield of humanity.